Today I am going to show you how to map on mobile. So this is my 50 subscriber special and thank you for letting us reach 50 subscribers. I am so grateful. This is one of the biggest milestones I've done ever, as it's surprising that we actually reached the milestone of 50 subs, which is very big. Once again, thank you so much for letting us reach 50 subscribers. So the way you can map on mobile, this map, I drew the outline all by myself. I made it white all by myself. But you must get maps from an app called Map Chart. There should be the app icon up there. So I'll be back. So this is how maps from Map Chart are going to usually look if you want a world map. They're going to look like this with gray and a white background. This is how they're going to look default. And I'm going to make a tutorial and I'm gonna go to the app right now to show you how to download. So see you when I download a map from Map Chart. The map is usually starting off like this. It's always having the country names and everything. The things you must definitely do before downloading the map is remove. I don't know why it's so laggy, but so this is what it usually would look like, maps from Map Chart. So to download them, you can press download map, and where you press to download the map is an area. This might take a long time because, as you can see, it's lagging. So where you can press, Map Chart is on both iOS or Android. You can download it on iOS or Android. You can press either save or gallery or save to files. I usually press save to files, which will lead to a screen like this, which you to go to your files. I think it doesn't show the files, but you can press save. I hope you're listening to my voice, because there is a part on your files where you can press save, or you can press save to gallery. Then I think it's gonna automatically save. So you see it says saved. Find your map in your gallery. So let's go back to IBS. And yes, to map you need an app called IBS Paint. As after you saved your map, this screen would be usually white, or you can press import picture from when you're starting off, but you press import pictures. I'm going to pause this part because my pictures are very private. It would usually show like this, or it would be very big line. Let me show you what I mean here. So let me pause this. Okay, what you can do is press this plus sign, which would show you the screen. Then you can press import pictures. I'm gonna pause this part. Which your map show out like this. Which this is how I used to use the map on my device, which was very bad. Which you really gotta zoom in to use a full-on map to have the experience right now. To map with this map, you gotta actively go to another layer. Then you gotta make the country's color. Then you gotta press the country, which the outline of the country would get off, and it would just be the country. And then you gotta make a whole other layer for countries being invaded. Then you gotta press that other country that's being invaded, which would do the same. Which this is how I used to map, which is very ugly. So, and then that would lead to you only being able to move in to the country from here. But if you want, the only way you can actually get a picture of a country without the outline, you will literally have to do it on the first layer, which is not that good. So I would definitely recommend for you guys to do something like make a second layer, then put your brush maybe level like 1.5, then you zoom in and draw the line, which this would take very long, but you gotta do it for the entire world map for it to be actually worth the work, because this area takes this thing took, for me to make the map I use now, it took me so long. As you can see, doing just one country takes very long, which the benefits of doing this is that now if you wanna make a country blue, you can just press it and it will be blue. But what I would recommend after you guys doing that, you can either make the country white or you rub the country. But you gotta do this on the normal layer, the the map layer, which this is how it will end up looking by the end. So let's go back to my original map. So I'll be back. As you can see, this map I did all the outlining. The outlining's done. But for this map, you gotta just make a layer underneath the outlining layer. Then you can make a war like Iraq invading a country like Iran invading a country like Iraq, which is very easy to do. But don't forget, you gotta alpha lock every single last layer, which should make it very easy, as you can also go to both layers and make each country go into the other country. So yeah, so now let me show you how to do Wisco on this map. So this map is not that good. Let me fix. Wisco's also very easy, as you can make a major city layer, a capital layer, or whatever. You can even make a layer where you can color every single last country, every single last unexplored territory gray if you want to. I don't know why is it like this. Maybe this is a wrong map. Let me just bring in the right map. I got the right map now. As you can see, you can just color, since the whole map is on a higher layer, you can just color everything like you're just coloring. You can just move your fingers around. If you turn off this layer, it will look very hideous, because it's like coloring in those books where it has like as you can see, this is how it looks with it off, which is just scribbles. So what you can just do here, you can just rub. If you want it to be a little bit lighter, you can not really rub it. You can like, don't know how you do that, where you just like, you gotta do it very softly, not actually rubbing, because it will actually rub everything off. So let me just get off this thing. So you can just rub here and start doing your viscos. The countries can be on the second layer. Maybe if you want the first country, maybe a blue country or something. So to get a blank visco map, it's very easy. You can just go to map chart again. This app is very important. You can just go to map chart, and since you don't want borders and you don't want anything, you can just rub the borders and rub the country names. But the bad part about this is that it will rub the coastline borders, which will lead, the countries are still there if you want, but it will rub the coastline borders, which I really don't like about that. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, just don't mind it. It will rub the coastline borders, as I was saying. Don't know why it's not letting me press Somalia. Let me press Somalia. As you can see what I mean, to rub the coastline, so that would force you, it would look like it's merged. That would really force you to do the aligning like how I did in that other map. But the map is actually very good. If you wanna do this but with country names on, you have to rub the country names, which is very bad. So yeah, you can just get your world map here, or you can just get a normal world map where you just rubbed the borders if you don't wanna do all the things of, if you have a world map that you already drew the outlines on, you can just get that world map and just rub the borders. So yeah, that's all you gotta do to map. And to record mapping videos, you on a phone, you need a screen recorder and an editor, like as I use CapCut right here, and I use this screen recorder. It's free, so if you want it, download it. It's on Play Store. I think it's also on App Store. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.